So we are back, hopefully. So internet connection seems to be a little bit sketchy today.
يعني
So
this is Dahab.
just in case it cuts us off again, then we're gonna just record this episode, and you will see it when the internet is back into operation. Those who are subscribed, boom.
And there it was. Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, so this is what.
But okay, guys.
Yeah. So in that case,
here we are. We are now recording this for tomorrow, and welcome to see our episode about Nawamis. We go up to the mountains and go see old ancient tombs on the close by area here, only a day trip away, and some of them are older than the pyramids. So it's really interesting. I hope you enjoy the episode, and we talk about the stuff more after the 15-minute movie. Enjoy!
Enjoy.
Thanks for joining us. We're going to go to Nawamis now. Yeah.
I'm Joseph.
Annette.
Samim.
Lydia.
Trisha.
Herman.
Ahmad.
Lucy's
Driver, good morning.
Morning.
Sand, I'm here. Woo! Let's go.
Can you tell me where we are from Dahab?
Well, where is Dahab first? Here. Then we drive this way. Here. Then we come. Here will be the checkpoint between St. Catherine and Dahab and Nuweiba. And then we drive this way. Here, and we get to Nawamis.
The freestanding buildings older than the pyramids. Woohoo!
How does it feel, Lucy?
Really cool to see them actually in daylight now. It's amazing how they buried their dead in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
So, who do you think the people were that built this?
The Nabatean.
No.
No.
No, not the Nabatean.
The Nabatean?
No.
Who then?
Well, the Nabatean, they were here about 2,000 years ago.
Oh. So I don't know. I was thinking that I know, but
Yeah, I mean, we don't really have a name for them. So,
okay.
yeah, they're about, it's in the Bronze Age, so about 5,000 years ago.
Yeah.
But we don't, the thing we know about the area is that in the Bronze Age, people came down from Canaanite, from the,
Oh yeah, the
Canaan.
Canaanites. Yeah, the one that they make the first letters, first alphabet.
yeah, they
Is
were,
that connected to them?
yeah, I mean, it would be because they are big miners. It's like they were hired to mine, basically, in the Sinai area.
Hmm.
And yeah, they were here for copper mining in the high mountains.
And that's why they built this for their.
Well, I mean, they would have settled here and had their burial sites as well.
Okay. Well, that's new information for me. You tell me you know them. I didn't.
Well, I mean, we don't have a real name for them, except that some of them would have come down from Canaan.
Canaan. Yeah.
Yeah,
So they are Canaanites.
Yeah.
So basically, we have the pharaohs and the Canaanites.
Right?
They are hand by hand in everything.
Yeah, I mean,
You make your hieroglyphic language, I make my Canaanite language.
Yeah.
You build your tombs and pyramids, I build my Nawamis.
yeah, and you come to mine for us and yeah, make a living like this. But they had a strong connection, the ancient Egyptians and the Canaanites. Strong economic ties.
Well, when we went to Sarabit, and I think in one of the episodes we're going to take you with us, you could see the god of the Canaanites there in the mountains, in a lot of areas
Yeah.
where they have their god to like draw it in the temples and the mountain and
Yeah.
the rocks, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, you got the hieroglyphic side by side with the Canaanite gods.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's so interesting. Yeah. all comes together here. It's the bridge between
Sinai.
Asia and Africa, between Egypt and Palestine.
Sinai, okay. I sleep. So how did they age them?
Well, the main way to age them is to look at what was inside. Now they're empty, but when they first researched them, there were bones inside, there were grave gifts like jewelry, arrowheads, all of that inside. And the one thing that they found, which is really important, is called the transverse arrowhead. So it's this arrowhead that's kind of shaped like that.
We can see the photo of it now on the screen.
Yeah, and that was also depicted on an Egyptian, well, I don't know what the object was exactly. I think it was a big hammer or something. Anyway, it had hieroglyphs on it, and that had the arrowhead. And that was only really found until the oldest time of the Nawamis, so until about 5,000 years ago. So that
It
kind
must
of
be
puts
older
it,
than that then?
well, it puts it at that age limit. Like that was a short period in time where that was used, but definitely younger than that if you find something like that.
And what about the jewelries? Did they can age the jewelries in it with the carbon and stuff like that? Or?
It's tricky, really. Yeah, I mean, it's more, they go more by, okay, what similar finds do we have in Palestine, in other areas around it, like, so that would give you a better indication. They weren't able to carbon date the human bones that were in there. I don't know why exactly, but they probably just didn't have enough material.
What you see in the screen now, how they find the body in the tomb. Like this is the photo how they find it in the tomb.
Yeah, so this one full skeleton was kind of like in a fetal position, but they would add bones and add whole skeletons and then just sweep the older ones to the side, put the new one in the center of it. You can see on this Nawamis really clearly that there would have been, or there are, two walls. So this is the outside one, and you can see the top half of it here is, well, probably kind of just crumbled off. All the other ones are more intact. And then this is the inside wall. So just two layers, and the inside wall, it kind of curves in a little bit. So it's called the core belling technique. And this is like a very sophisticated architectural technique, basically. To see it here is pretty awesome. Like, it just shows how advanced their skills must have been in stone masonry. It's pretty amazing. Roofs, you can go around, try not to twist your ankle or fall.
Oh, this angle you can really see the two walls.
Now you can see it really, really well. And see how it would have been filled up with rubble, like in between, in between the big slabs. And yeah, you can really clearly see this is just the lower part of the outer wall, and that's the inside wall. And then that inside wall would have supported the roof.
والله في ناحية النواميس ها؟
So we're driving along with some passengers here.
Yep.
لا والله.
Hold tight.
But then the following, yeah.
Another Nawamis. Wadi Slav Nawamis. They look like most of the Nawamis we have seen. Door facing the west.
2 pieces of bone.
So that's what's special about this Nawamis.
Yeah, that's first time. I mean, the other Nawamis, they're all empty. They've been dug out and they've taken all the stuff out. But this could
Can
be.
we film and see the bone inside?
Sure, yeah.
Let's see.
You can see there's one in kind of
Yeah,
in the
I
middle.
can see the bone.
And there's one kind of close to you as well. Like if you go down a little bit, you probably see it. You see that?
Yeah, and the cloth.
Could be a burial cloth.
Yeah.
This looks like a hip bone. I don't know. I'm not very good with anatomy, but definitely a bone in there.
That's amazing.
This
We've got bones and the mummy.
Where is the mummy? I can't
Mummy,
see the mummy.
come a little bit for.
That's just an old church.
That's the mummy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, that's absolutely amazing. That it's still preserved. And it's
Sorry.
proves it.
A mummy.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. That's why they're special.
So what makes these tombs so special?
So I mean that's the first time I see bones in the tomb. Yeah. So there's like 2 bits of bone in here, and the other one has what looks like a part of a shroud that they would have been wrapped in, and a bone kind of sticking out of that.
Yeah, I saw in the other tomb that looked like the leg bone, the kneecap there, and you could see some cotton in there as well. Would that be part of the burying of the body?
It looks like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because that looks like that old kind of white cotton, you know, that they would have used for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really unusual. That's the first time because most of them have been really researched and stuff has been taken out. You know, either the valuable stuff has just been robbed out, and the bones have been taken out for research.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the first time I see it like this. It's really, really cool.
And the structure, the round structure, is. Do you think that's significant as a burial site? Would that be because it's a tomb? It's a circle.
Yeah, I don't know what the idea, whether that just gives it a more stable, I mean,
Yeah,
that
maybe.
it's a stable structure like this, yeah. And you were saying something the other day about like round, like ghosts hide in corners, right? That's why they have,
Yeah.
so maybe this isn't this way, you know, the ghost or the spirit wouldn't stick, basically.
Yeah, they say the devil hides in the corners.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's why they
no
do
corners.
round houses.
yeah, round houses.
Yeah, maybe the same applies to tombs. Yeah, or maybe it's just a. I mean, it gives you a really stable structure,
Yeah.
right, to have it
Yeah.
like that.
Did you notice that the doorways are on the same side?
Yeah, the doorways are facing. Which way is this?
The
West.
West.
The west, yeah.
Yeah.
because that's where the sun sets, so that's
Yeah.
associated with ends, with death.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's always the case for these tombs. They always face west.
West. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they always build double walls.
Yeah, also, yeah, and here you can really, I mean, the other one, you could see it here as well. It's a very, very thick
Very
wall.
thick
Yeah,
walls, yeah.
very, very thick, very well built. Yeah, it's
The,
sturdy.
the roof here intact, yeah?
Yeah, yeah, the roof's still standing.
شيخ أبو طالب توم. رحت حدي ربيع بركات معايا، فده شيخ أبو طالب. هو نسأل الأول هو جه ازاي هنا الشيخ؟
الشيخ بيكون بيحلم حلم بيحلمه بالليل، بيقول لك انا عايز اتدفن في المكان ده.
طب وطبعا كل سنة الناس بتيجي هنا بتعمل احتفالات وبتاع
الناس هنا بتيجي بتعمل احتفالات في المكان ده، هو العريشه اللي بيعملوا فيه الشاي ويذبحوا جدي، خدت بالك، يذبحوا خروف، فاي حد بيعدي عليهم بياكل منها، بيعملها حاجه وجه الله يعني.
ده في أي وقت في السنة؟
في اي وقت في السنه.
في أي وقت.
خدت بالك؟
يعني الشيخ ده اختار انه يبقى هنا في المكان ده على الارتفاع ده ويبقى. طب هو دلوقتي احنا لو نبص جوه برضه هو متوجه
هو القبله بتاعته كده، اي حد عندنا بيموت بنحط السنه بتاعته كده، راسه لازم الناحيه دي غروب، لازم الغروب، خدت بالك؟ احنا عندنا السنه لازم الغروب،
لازم
خدت بالك، ورجله الناحيه الثانيه.
رجله الناحيه الثانيه. طب لو في ليله بتتعمل له في السنه؟
15/9 الشيخ حشاش، 15/10 الشيخ قراي. هناك
دول اتنين بس اللي بتعملوهم في سيناء ولا في تاني؟
لا في تاني. عندك الشيخ الاخضر اللي هنا في وادي الاخضر، ده كل اسبوع في الصيف بتعمل له زياره. ماشي.
حلو.
شكرا شكرا معلومات مفيدة. شكرا.
الحمد لله.
Welcome to Jabal Gunna.
Hey, this is cool.
Okay, looks like a dead coral to me, and I guess that's why we find a lot of fossils in this area.
Okay. Holy cow! Wow.
That's cool. That's beautiful.
So amazing. Okay, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that episode. Seeing the Nawamis and the Sheikh's tomb, Sheikh Abu Taleb. So I think that was a really interesting view.
Nice,
huh? Yeah,
amazing. That was a nice day, and I mean, just to think about it, that some of these constructions they've done, they stood the time for 5,000 years.
Yeah.
I mean, they say pyramids are amazing. Yeah, they are, but they are not that old.
Yeah.
So that is amazing in my mind. And they're still here.
Yeah.
And there's no, a wall around them and ticket booth. And,
No, exactly.
just walk in there and have a look.
Yeah.
Up and have a look.
And
Real history.
What's really more amazing, that like comparing it with the Sheikh tomb and how people now bury their dead with facing the west, like the same as 5,000 years ago. It's still running the same way. Like it's amazing to have the same thing running. Like
I mean,
tradition is still there
in the Sheikh's tomb, but also in the modern cemeteries. They still face them east to west. Yeah. It's still being done the same way.
Doesn't matter if you're religious or not religious, or like it's called the same way. The Western, the first did the same thing. Like they bury their dead in the west side of the Nile.
Yes.
West
All the
Bank.
valley of the kings and everything is all on the west bank.
West side,
And the temples are on the east side.
But to think that I mean, the two that we found that still have the bones in there, that they're not being excavated,
that
or
was
studied,
stunning.
or that's amazing. They've been left alone for a long time. And I mean, we have seen there are other places that where they are not as well preserved.
Yes.
Like up to the wadi that we went before on a cave hunting trip, we found some Nawamis that were way up. But quite often, and on this wadi too, was we were driving, they were on the top of the closest mountain, so the dead had the best view, I guess, over the place.
I don't
that's
know.
Kind of nice sentiment. Because then the first one we visited on this one, that's also a little bit higher than the surrounding area. You can see around everywhere. So it's also about the view somehow.
I mean, giving them a higher place. Maybe also practical, protect them from flooding, like in the wadis would have flooded had the rain coming through it. So you want to
think about that, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, a lot of cemeteries, just even in other parts of the world, they can be uphill, aren't they? If you think about it.
Kind of give them a nice view for eternity, basically.
Prime real estate.
Exactly.
And I like the idea of devils stay in the corner.
Those are
Let's make them round then.
The roundhouse.
I mean, a lot of those really ancient buildings are round. Like if you look at the really oldest structures they found from like the Neolithic times, and I mean they are old round structures.
Same with even with the Stone Age buildings or the remains of the buildings in Finland that are 8 to 12,000 years
Yes.
old.
Yeah.
They are also round. So there is something about the shape.
Yeah.
Have the fire in the middle and the temperature is distributed all parts of the house or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Inuits make their igloos round.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Not
Mongolian
square.
yurts and
Yurts,
Indian
Native American
teepees,
teepees.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. All
They're
those
all
shapes.
based on round area. Fire in the middle, a little bit higher in the middle so that the smoke goes out after they invented fire, and before that the caves.
Yeah.
So
And amazing how they build it this way, like stone over stone over stone,
that's
and
a
it
lot of work.
holds and it's
Yeah,
like
it has
without
like a locking system or
cement,
something.
without
Yeah,
anything, and it stays for 5,000 years and even more. Like and it's just like simple buildings.
Yeah.
And they chose only the rocks that are not eroding. We see it, all our mountains are eroding, and then they have fallen down, and erosion is destroying the sides of the mountains.
Yeah.
Not these. They chose
Chose
only
those.
those rocks that can withstand time,
Yeah.
which is really cool. They had the knowledge about that already.
Yeah.
They didn't use limestone because that wouldn't last.
Yeah. Yeah.
They already knew that long term it won't last. So let's
Exactly.
use these ones that last longer.
Yeah.
And they had tools enough to manufacture those.
Yeah.
Because some of them are clearly manufactured.
Broken,
You-
yeah,
You,
to fit.
can't find that shaped rocks from the nature.
No, it's
Some,
too
yes,
uniform.
but
Yeah.
this is too many pieces to be able to find them as they are.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
they did work for it.
Yeah.
I have to tell you about the story about the Nawamis. When I was going as a guide, that's not in the video, but like always people ask why this area called Nawamis. So everybody invent his story, like this is because the word Namusa or Namus means mosquito in English. Arabic word means mosquito.
Now I remember the story.
So the word Nawamis is many Namusa, many
mosquitoes.
Yeah.
So like people say, like when someone asks me, I'm like inventing my story, which I heard it from someone else, that like these houses built because there were like a lot of mosquito in the area, so the people built them to save them from the mosquito. And that was the story going for a long time.
All the guys were saying
Yeah.
that.
Even now, I mean, we've been like before we found the articles on the internet about it. Basically, like we have been, and we've been with guides.
And still some
They will
guys say
still
the same
tell
story
you the same
until
story.
now,
Yeah.
But some clever guest, and he asked like, why people don't move from this area if it has mosquito?
Yeah.
So I have to find answer.
Yeah.
And I told him,
You're like, okay.
no, this is their original land. How they can leave their land and go somewhere else?
Yeah.
Good story.
Yeah, it's much fun when
The
you
first-
know the truth.
The first Nawamis where we were, that's kind of significant because it's really well preserved, but it is on the crossroads of what is going north and south and what is going west and east.
Yeah.
And it is kind of place where you can imagine that there was a trading station or something, resting place for the camels and resting place for the horses, because they used the horses before the camels.
Yeah.
So horses need resting places. This probably was one of them. So it would be interesting if one day later on someone would do some archaeological actual study on that area, because I'm sure there must be a lot more there.
Yeah. You would
History.
think like
Not just those,
tombs.
there must be more. There were people around that area.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we went to the modern village nearby. I'm sure they have a well. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah,
they
they
have.
yeah, they have a well.
They have water
but
sources.
they moved there only 100 and something years ago.
I wonder
Yeah.
what's under them if you started excavating
Exactly.
and you find pottery or what.
Yeah, exactly. There must be
Must
stuff.
be. Mm.
Yeah.
There must be.
Yeah, I mean, if those tombs are that old, then there would be other settlements, other
That are younger.
residential structures, not just tombs.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, around them, there is in the mountain, there is a lot of inscriptions about Nabatean inscriptions around close to them.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the rock of inscriptions
Rock of
and
inscriptions and the mountain of inscriptions,
all
and there
these
is a
different
lot
rocks.
of inscriptions.
Yeah,
I
around
mean,
there,
It was on a route, like it was on a pilgrimage
traveling
route.
route, yeah.
Most probably 5,000 years ago, this was surrounded by a forest.
Yeah,
It's most
I don't
likely
know.
that there were
more
vegetation.
vegetation for sure. Yeah,
And like
and a lot more
5,000
hunting.
years ago, Sahara was like what 1/10 of its size, what it is, and the rest was forest. So
Yeah.
kind of makes sense that on the Sinai desert the situation was the same.
Yeah. I mean, the wadi that it's close to is called Wadi Gazala, which means gazelle, which
Gazelle
it was
Wadi,
famous
yeah.
for hunting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there was
exactly.
enough
And we've seen all the
vegetation
hunting
and water
scenes
to
on the
support it.
To feed
inscriptions.
a herd. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's leave this for the next episode about the area, how it was full of
Geology of the
water
area.
and
Yeah. We have
the
some geography
sea and
going
stuff
on
like
Yeah.
that.
next time.
That's
Yeah,
going to be
yeah.
another good one.
Yeah.
It is. It is
that's
quite
a
a good one.
I really liked seeing the more modern tomb. I don't know how old that tomb would have been, the Sheikh Abu
Abu
Taleb,
Taleb,
and
yeah.
hear Rabia's story, because I'd never looked at it that closely. I'd never really heard Bedouin story. I mean, I know they have like a memorial or a celebration nearby, some of them, and it's like a set date for certain sheikhs, but I'd never actually looked inside and had somebody talk about it, and thought that was
Yeah, I was so
Yes.
surprised that there
Yeah.
was remains in there.
yeah.
I never thought.
Yeah, but it's not that old, because he's
Yeah.
talking
No.
about like he was the sheikhs was working in the manganese,
Yeah.
Right. The
which
mine.
that with the mine,
Yeah.
manganese mine, that's which was during the occupation of England to Egypt, which
Yeah, it was in the
Yes.
British
During the-
colonial
Brits
time.
ruled, yeah.
Yeah.
1920, 1940,
Yes.
50, around that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
around that
So
time.
it's
So
very recent.
it's not
Yeah.
like really.
Yeah.
But still
But
50
still.
years old
Yeah.
or something. It's
Yeah.
it's old, yeah.
And all this area, although we haven't actually found, I've been to a granite mine, but we haven't found yet copper mines, because we know from history that copper was
yeah.
mined in Sinai.
Yeah.
That was the main purpose
Mm-hmm.
of Sinai for the pharaohs.
Yeah.
It was a copper
And
mining
before.
area,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and we haven't found those yet. So I would be
I
quite
mean, there's
interested
evidence
in
of copper
finding where.
melting, and like there is
when and how.
And then
some
gold and
archaeological
stuff,
evidence
there is
there.
some
Yeah,
places,
yeah, of like
Yeah.
where
So
they
is it a
found
challenge to find a copper.
Yeah, I think
copper
so.
mine. Yeah, I mean
I'd like to do
where
that.
we were, Wadi Baba and all that stuff.
Yeah, there is there
Yeah.
is copper and there is,
You see
places,
those?
yeah.
I don't know what they're called, like those.
but that's
Nuggets.
middle of Sinai, I think.
Yeah.
Not the south.
Mhm.
It's the middle of Sinai. And
Yeah.
they had the copper and even he told like Ibrahim,
Ibrahim,
the guy, he was
yeah.
telling about like his granddad was working in the copper mine and
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah. So
okay.
even that recently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's reason.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Interesting.
And
Yeah.
there is like in Wadi Gazala, there is like I know someone. His name Salama. He's
Oh,
like
yeah.
which we named a canyon after him.
Salama Canyon.
Yeah.
Yes.
That he told me his dad, which is recently
Yeah.
nowadays, he told me like he was having gold, mining gold, and he showed me the areas where they were collecting golds from
Wow.
near Salama Canyon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing.
There is
Yeah.
some caves there that he
Yeah.
showed to me, and he said they find gold in these areas. And
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the Bedouin
There's a lot of
worked
minerals
in
in
mining
Sinai.
at some point.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
very
It's
fresh mountain
well
range, so
Yeah.
there's a lot of minerals, and there's a lot of minerals that are close to the surface, so it's
Mhm.
relatively easy.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
so let's go and for next episode, what do you think we're gonna do next episode?
Well, we have a few options, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we can do Jebel Guna, the Crystal Mountain,
Or Tanura dancing
something
in
in-
night.
Or
Yeah.
Laguna?
Laguna.
No?
Yeah.
Laguna.
Yeah, we have a few options. Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's options.
yeah, I know a lot of people like to see stuff in and around Dahab. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
might
we
be
get a lot of
nice.
requests for Dahab life.
Yeah.
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 So maybe.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit
Yeah,
of a party.
we're going to
Yeah.
be filming day after tomorrow. We're going to be filming on a dive instructor
Yes.
examinations.
Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah,
see
we
how
need
much
to hit the
material we
water
get
as well.
together from that.
Yeah.
And maybe we can, because that is happening right in the bay.
Yeah.
Mm.
True.
And
Yeah.
in the winter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
winter has not been winter, but apparently in 2 days it's going to be
Oh
winter.
God, I'm not looking forward to this.
So we'll
No.
see. Day temperature 15 and night temperature 10.
Ugh.
We'll share our photos with you on Instagram and
Of the
our heavy
igloo that we
jackets.
built and
It's
like
not
our
that we're gonna get snow,
bias.
but
Yeah.
it's still very, very cold for us.
Yeah.
very cold.
See what we can do.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for watching the episode.
Thanks for watching. Yeah.
Thanks, and
Don't forget,
hopefully-
still can ask your questions in your own language.
We uploaded this video like a little bit after we did it because of technical problems we had with the internet. But on the video chat, please ask questions. We will check that chat daily so that we can answer your questions on that chat or on the next studio episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
On your own language, eli suomeksi, also på svenska.
En in het Nederlands.
بالعربي.
English.
Kiwi.
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 Yeah. G'day, mate.
Okay, bye bye.
Okay, bye bye.